Okay, it's saying that I'm live. Let me just check one thing real quick. Just to make sure. Alright, let me see if I'm live right now. Alright, let me see if I'm live right now. Alright, let me see if I'm live right now. And everything seems to be good. Alright, let me see if I'm live right now. And everything seems to be good. Alright, let me see if I'm live right now. Let me pull up my notes. Okay, so what is up, everybody? This is Caleb here from MovieNewsNation, and I want to welcome you all to the first podcast here on this channel. This is the first podcast. Now, this was actually supposed to be done yesterday, but I couldn't get to it. If you're hearing the humming noise, it's the air conditioning unit, but don't worry, that's going to go off here in a few minutes. But I want to thank everyone for joining the live stream right now. I just want to make sure that everything is good, everything is running perfectly, and it is showing me that we are live. So, hopefully, we can get some more people, joining us soon for this podcast. Definitely get some more people into this podcast before I go ahead and start. But yes, this is the first podcast here on Movie News Nation. This is something that I said that I did have planned, for a while, and now that it is happening, I just want to welcome everybody here for the live podcast, and towards the end of this podcast, I'm gonna get into scheduling and that type of stuff for when we'll do podcasts and stuff like that. It was supposed to be done on Sunday, and these podcasts are going to be done on Sunday. It's just that it's done today because I couldn't get to do it yesterday. I had ran into a bunch of stuff, but yeah. We're going to wait for a little bit and hopefully that more people show up. Again, if you are hearing a humming noise, it is because the AC unit is on. It comes on and it turns off automatically, but I don't want to mess with it right now. So if you do hear it, it is the AC, and I do apologize. But just work with me a little bit, and let me go back to this video again just to make sure that everything is coming through and everything is coming through very, very smoothly. And let me go back to this video again just to make sure that everything is coming through and everything is coming through very, very smoothly. And let me go back to this video again just to make sure that everything is coming through and everything is coming through very, very smoothly. And let me go back to this video again. Everything is coming in smoothly. Actually, give me a sec because I'm actually about to go turn off this AC so that this humming isn't, bothering and messing up the stream. So give me 1 minute. Sit tight. I'm going to go ahead, turn off this AC unit to where you guys can hear me clearly without hearing the humming going on and on in the background. All right, give me 1 second. right, and I am back. So the AC unit should cut off here in a few minutes. It'll cut off in a few minutes, and then we'll go ahead and jump right into these stories. This probably won't be that long of a podcast, though, but that's okay. It's the first podcast. You know, I have more planned, and hopefully they could be a whole lot longer than, they could be a whole lot longer than this one, definitely. But I don't see this one being a very long podcast. If you are looking for something longer, I do apologize, but this podcast may not be that long. I am just going to wait until this AC unit kicks off. And then hopefully that'll give more people more time to go ahead and join the live stream. And then we can go ahead and get the ball rolling. And then hopefully that'll give more people more time to go ahead and join the live stream. And then we can go ahead and get the ball rolling. And then hopefully that'll give more people more time to go ahead and join the live stream. And then we can go ahead and get the ball rolling. And then hopefully that'll give more people more time to go ahead and join the live stream. And then we can go ahead. Okay, so now the AC is turned off. Give me 1 second as I go ahead and share this live stream right now. And then we will go ahead and jump into our stories. So let me go ahead and just share this on Twitter right now. If I can spell correctly. Give me 1 second. All right, so it has been tweeted and AC unit is off. Let's go ahead and jump in to our first story of this podcast. And for those who is wondering what this podcast is centered around, this is pretty much me just kind of giving out, pretty much sharing different stories that are going on in the entertainment world, whether it be, movies, music. Right now, it's mainly just movies, and I don't have that many stories as of right now. But like I said, it's the first podcast. It's not going to be perfect, but hopefully you guys will definitely enjoy this podcast. And for those who are joining right now, it is currently 9:38 p.m. Central Standard Time. And let's go ahead and jump in. And our first story is that the Lady in the Tramp cast for the live action remake has been revealed. Yes, there is a live action Lady in the Tramp film in the making. And they have actually released the cast info when it comes to the live action animals and the voice actors, because they are using actual dogs in this film. It's a live action film with the help of voice actors. And another cool thing about this film is the dogs that are being used in this film, they are rescue dogs. And that is a very cool thing. Let me go ahead and pull up the cast list right now. And for those who aren't familiar with Lady and the Tramp, it's one of Disney's classic films, from 1955. It follows a Cocker Spaniel and another dog that I do not know the breed of, and it's pretty much a film that is one of Disney's classics, and it still is a Disney classic. But let me go ahead and get to our voice casting, and it has been revealed that Justin Theroux will be doing the voice of Tramp. He will be doing the voice of Tramp. For those who don't know who Justin Theroux is, he has had he was actually in one of the Star Wars films, and he will be playing Tramp, who is portrayed by a dog by the name of Monte. He was rescued from a kill shelter in New Mexico, and he was transferred to another shelter in Phoenix where he was adopted. Where he was adopted by one of the film's trainers. So, almost all the dogs in this film are rescue dogs. And when it comes to Lady, the Cocker Spaniel, she will be voiced by Tessa Thompson. Now, for those who don't know who Tessa Thompson is, she was in the first and second Creed movie. She was in Thor Ragnarok and Avengers in Endgame. And it has now been confirmed that Tessa Thompson will be playing the voice of a Lady. For other voice acting talents, you have Sam Elliott as a bloodhound by the name of Trusty. Janelle Monáe will be joining the cast as a, well, it's not giving the name of the breed, but Janelle Monáe is also part of the cast listing. She will be playing a dog by the name of Peg. And this one here, Ashley Jensen will be doing the voice of Jock. Now, for those who don't remember Jock was the Scottish Terrier in the film. But this time around, instead of Jock being a male dog, he will be a female dog. So Jock will be a she. And she will be played by Ashley Jensen. There's a lot of things I could say about this, but I'm not going to. I don't want to kind of overrun the stream with a whole bunch of this and that. Benedict Wong will be doing the voice of Bull, who is a bulldog. And that is actually it for the cast listing as of right now. For the release date of Lady and the Tramp will actually be released. It won't be released in theaters, but it will be released on Disney's new streaming service called Disney Plus. And Disney Plus will be released November 12th of 2019. And this kind of goes into my next story right here, which talks about Disney Plus and the live action remakes that are coming with Disney Plus. Now, for those who don't know what Disney Plus is, Disney has announced that they will be releasing a streaming bundle with ESPN Plus since Disney owns a good stake of ESPN. I believe it's 80% that they own, and also Hulu, because Disney now owns a 60% stake of Hulu. So with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, it's a new streaming service that Disney is trying to get out there to try to compete with different streaming services. And along with that, Disney has announced that there will be different remakes and live action adaptations of films, such as Lady and the Tramp, which will release when Disney Plus release. And to add to that list, it has been announced that they are also going to redo or remake Fox Films, because Disney also owns Fox as well. Disney's owning a lot of things, but they will be redoing some Fox films such as Home Alone, Night at the Museum, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The list goes on and on. Like, I could legit pull up a whole list right now of the different films that they have planned. And, this kind of goes into this kind of goes into the old saying of, if something ain't broke, definitely you don't need to fix it. But when it comes to Disney, I really feel like this, this is Disney trying to compete with different streaming services such as, Netflix. Trying to think of more, Vudu, even though Vudu is more for movies. But this is Disney definitely trying to compete, and we all know Disney has the money to do it. Disney definitely has the money to do it. They have the funds to do it. We're not saying that this is a waste of money. If anything, this is very lucrative on Disney's end. But when it comes to all the different live action remakes and all of this and that's coming with it, it's sort of like a why. What's the reason for it? And speaking of different live action remakes, it has been announced that Disney will be doing a live action remake of The Rescuers from Down Under. Now, give me 1 second. I can look to see if this will be being released with Disney Plus. The Rescuers. Definitely trying to look for it right now, but it has been stated that The Rescuers from Down Under will be getting a live action remake, and it has been met with definitely a whole lot of criticism. We're getting a bunch of remakes from Disney, and while at the same time, while we find it unnecessary, Disney does have the right to do it. These are original Disney animated films, but at the same time, it kind of shows that there's no longer any original creativity being brought to the board. It's just saying, hey, let's remix this, let's remix that, let's get this bread. Pretty much, it's pretty much just all like, hey, what else can we remix right now, or what else can we remake right now? Excuse me. And then they'll say, well, we haven't remade this, we haven't remade that. Well, let's go ahead, do a remake of it, go ahead, put it out in theaters, and let's make this bread. That's pretty much what all it is. But the Disney streaming plus services, we'll most likely be seeing a whole lot of live action remakes and remakes of other movies that have already been release, but they won't be released to theaters. They'll be released to on Disney's Plus, Disney streaming service website. Like I said, it does launch on November 12th. Let me know if you will be, participating in the launch of that streaming service. I usually, I don't use streaming services no more. Like Netflix. I haven't used Netflix in a while, and mainly that's because like there's nothing that has caught my eye on Netflix. And I know you have the Netflix originals, but at the same time, yeah, they're originals, but at the same time, what's it? What's it? They don't really, catch my attention or tickle my fancy, as somebody would say. But to each their own. I digress. If you are someone who still uses Netflix, that's good to you. It's good for you. Okay, let me go on to my next story here, which is Universal and Blumhouse Media. I hope that's the actual name of the production company. But they have announced that they are canceling the release of their upcoming film called The Hunt. And this announcement comes, I want to say about a week after, two terrible tragedies that had happened, one in Texas and one in Ohio, and Universal has decided to pull the plug on releasing a film called The Hunt. And pretty much the whole premise of the film is the rich kidnapping people at random, taking them out and hunting them for game. And the reason for this is because of the use of gun violence in the movie. Now, we can kind of sit here and go back and forth all day talking about this. You know, some people. I'm pretty sure some people are applauding the decision. Some people are saying this decision is dumb. It's ludicrous. It doesn't need to happen. I kind of lean more on the fact of it doesn't really need to happen, and that's not me trying to downplay these terrible tragedies that have happened. That's not me trying to downplay these tragedies, but I feel like it doesn't need to happen because one, the movie is slated to come out in September 27th, almost the end of September, which is way after, which will be way after when these tragedies have happened. Definitely. Do I feel like there's a need to cancel your whole release? No, I don't feel like there's a need to cancel your whole release, even when your film doesn't really kind of relate to what happened in any way, shape, or form. It's just a movie that has gun violence included in it. People are using guns in it. Okay, you know, it is what it is. Do I feel like there's an do I feel like you should cancel your whole release date, even though your film isn't in relation to what happened in those two states? No. Now, it would be different if they were to delay the release date to kind of, to kind of get people, off edge, kind of get their mind straight before you release a film that is littered with gun violence. And judging from the trailer, because I just watched the trailer today, when I watched that trailer, I didn't, yes, there's guns in the movie. Obviously, there's a scene. There's a part in the trailer, in the beginning of the trailer, where I can't. I actually don't know the actress's name, but she goes into a convenience, like this little convenience store. She talks to the two people in there. She slams one lady's head onto the counter, jumps over the counter, grabs a shotgun, and kills two people in there. You know, yeah, that can be understandable. That's just plain murder. You know, it's just plain. That's murder. So that's understandable. But when I watched the whole trailer, I said to myself, well, this doesn't, this doesn't really kind of warrant the film to be canceled off of its release date. You know, but I digress. This is something that I can go on and on all day about, but I don't want to get too political here. Drinking water, gotta stay hydrated. But yeah, to everybody, to each their own. Definitely to each their own. But the one thing is, though, I feel like it is, in a sense, unnecessary. Some people feel like it's pandering. I don't think it's just pandering. I think people are having to really buckle underneath the pressure because they know if they release this movie, they're gonna have a mob after them. Like the new word right now, this mob mentality. They feel if this movie is released, people are gonna feel like they are insensitive to these events that have happened, and that's obviously not the case. And when I read that story, it totally reminded me of an incident. Well, no, not even an incident. It totally reminded me when one of Seth Rogen's movies, I think it was called Neighborhood Watch, and this was around the time after Trayvon Martin was killed. He was killed by someone who was a part of Neighborhood Watch. Um, they ended up taking the word neighborhood. I believe this is what happened. They ended up taking the word neighborhood out of the title of the movie. It was no longer called neighborhood. It was no longer called the Neighborhood Watch. I think that's what it was originally called, but it just ended up being called the Watch. I believe they ended up taking the word Neighborhood Watch out of it because around this time, Trayvon Martin was killed by someone who was a part of Neighborhood Watch, and then reading that story about the hunt, it just reminded me of that incident, and and I know at the same time you want to be sensitive to other people. You want to be sensitive. You want to be sensitive to their feelings, but at the same time, you kind of have to say to yourself, "Well, is this gonna hurt someone's feelings?" Or you know, uh, like you really got to ask yourself that. You know, is this really gonna hurt someone's feelings? Is this gonna make somebody feel some type of way? Before you make these decisions, it may be a small minority, but even if it's a small minority, you still kind of gotta, you still kind of gotta think. You still gotta think about it. I mean, yes, it's public perception. You know, and I mean, it would have been different had this film would have been coming out this Friday. You know what I mean? And but I don't know. I don't know. It's like I'm at a loss for words because when I read the article, it was just kind of mind boggling to me to where that a movie studio and there's nothing wrong with wanting to try there's nothing wrong to wanting to be sensitive to people's feelings. There's nothing wrong with that. You do you. If you want to be sensitive to someone's feelings, go ahead and do it. But when I read that article, it just made me think of like, oh boy, oh boy, here come these other YouTubers who are gonna say Universal has buckled underneath the weight of the social justice warrior. I don't see it as social justice. I don't see it as social justice. When they do this, I don't see them being brought down by the pressure of social justice. It was just mainly their decision that they said, hey, we don't want to release this film because it has gun violence. We had two tragedies that happened by people who were using guns. We feel like it's necessary to not release this film. you know. But even though me personally, I feel like you could have just pushed back the release date. You could have just pushed back the release date. That's all. I feel like that would have been more appropriate than kind of canceling a whole release date because you got to think because you got to think about it in production wise. You bring on these people to work on your film. Some of them probably didn't even get paid that much, and they're really hoping that the box office can really help make their money back. Well, now they've lost all that money because they're not going to get paid through the box office. Whatever money they made working on that film, and it may have been little. All the editors, all the producers, you know, all your cinematographers, assistant directors, you know, they usually don't get paid that much. Even your special effects artists, if you have any special effects, you know, animation is animation is a career that is slowly coming to the verge of you getting screwed, you getting fucked on. But it is definitely what it is. But those were my main stories. I think another story I can talk about, even though this isn't really movie related. Well, I really feel like I rambled on in that last story, but Twitch is definitely in some hot water right now. For those who don't know, most of the streamers that were on Twitch are now leaving the site to go to another site called Mixer. Some of them are kind of making their way into YouTube. some of them are kind of, some of them are kind of jumping the ship from Twitch, because Twitch has definitely, in a sense, there's a word I want to say, but I don't want to say it because I don't want to get this podcast taken down. But what's it? Twitch has a set of rules, and Twitch has pretty much gone back on their rules to make exceptions for some streamers who do very provocative things. Now, I haven't used Twitch in such a long time. I think last time I really tried to use Twitch was like, it's like back in 2015, man. Like I like I haven't tried streaming in there for a while, and I thought about going back to streaming on Twitch, but I just know to myself that that I can never find the time to really put all the time and effort to do it. And also, having good internet is a very key and crucial thing if you want to stream on Twitch. That was one thing that I didn't. That was one thing I did not have. That was my bottle crunching, drinking up all this water. My throat's getting dry. But yes, I've been on Twitter for a couple of days, and I've seen the Twitch is over party hashtag trending, and I've watched other videos, and I've watched YouTube videos to get clarification. And pretty much what it is that it's starting to turn into like a cam girl site. And if you don't know what a cam girl site is, it is a site where you go and you watch females perform sexual and provocative acts, and you pay them. You pay them in donations. It's how some people make a living off of. And now Twitch is starting to go back on their terms and their rules, their TOS. And the one thing about Twitch is, you can't be provocative, you can't be offensive, you can't do obscene things. And like, I haven't gotten on Twitch personally to see it, but I've seen videos on YouTube and Twitter talking about how how some of these female streamers are kind of breaking these rules, but they don't see no punishment. While there are legit female streamers out there who are just in it for the sport and in it to make a living off of, because most people who are streaming on Twitch, they are making a actual living off of their donations, off of their subscribers. And pretty much what it is when it comes to Twitch, with it being such a very popular platform for live streaming, other than YouTube and Mixer, with Twitch being so popular like that, I guess it can be seen as that. It can be seen as sort of like a gateway for someone to be like, hey, maybe I should, maybe I should hop on the Twitch train. Let me hop on the Twitch train. If I can't make it on such and such site, let me hop on Twitch. They're gonna make this exception for me, definitely. And I don't want to throw like gender into it as well, even though come on, if a female who is definitely, I guess I'll say perky to try to keep this as clean as possible, if a female who is perking or female who is blossoming is on Twitch and they're showing a bunch of, provocative features of them, like, are you not telling me that the next 14, 13-year-old are going to hop on their stream just to watch them play the game? No, they're not going to hop on their stream just to watch them play the game. They're going to hop on their stream because of a certain thing. But because of it, Twitch is losing all accountability right now. People are actually starting to leave the site almost in droves. Ninja, one very prominent streamer who was a part of Twitch, has decided to leave the platform. And after that, his channel was met with a bunch of BS. He was having pornographic ads put on his channel, even though he really is no longer affiliated with his channel on Twitch. He's starting to go over to Mixer now, but he's had a lot of stuff happen to his channel, and Twitch is putting stuff on his channel that he's not even approving of. So Twitch is actually going downhill. They're really shooting themselves in the foot. They're definitely shooting themselves in the foot. But it's like, for what reason? So Twitch is actually going downhill. They're really shooting themselves in the foot. They're definitely shooting themselves in the foot. But it's like, for what reason? So Twitch is actually going downhill. I just had to listen again to make sure everything's going good. But yeah, Twitch is definitely shooting themselves in the foot. All right. Let's go to Screen Crush and let's look at a new article. Let's find an article for me to report on, because that's where I actually get most of my information is on Screen Crush. So let me see. We'll go to movies. We will go to movies, and boom, first article I see is the best movie posters of the 2010s. Best movie poster of the 2010s. Coming in at number 50 is Lincoln. It was directed by Steven Spielberg. It came out in 2012. And then after that, 49, you have Neighbors. Came out in 2014. It starred Seth Rogen and Zac Efron. While I'm here, I might as well say that Lincoln was played by Daniel Day-Lewis. And it was a Disney film. Yeah. What else? Lady Bird, which came out in 2017. It was directed by Greta Gerwig. I don't know who played. I don't know who started it. But oops, give me 1 second. Hit advertisement. Okay. Need for Speed, coming in at 47 in 2014. Directed by Scott Wow. It starred I can't remember his name, but it starred someone from Breaking Bad. I'll just leave it at that. It just starred someone from Breaking Bad. John Wick Chapter 2 at number 46. And it came out in 2017, directed by Chad Stahelski. And then number 45. This is actually a film that I do not know. First Reformed. Came out in 2018, directed by Paul Schrader. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, came out in 2018, ranked at number 44, starred Chris Pratt. The Love Witch, which came out in 2016, directed by Anna Biller. Number 42, Mother, came out in 2017. It was directed by Darren Aronofsky. To the people who are joining right now, if you're wondering what I'm talking about and what I'm saying, I'm going through the list of the the most popular movie posters of the 2010s, or the best looking movie posters of 2010s, I should say. Let Me In, which came out in 2010, directed by Matt Reeves, comes in at number 41. Burning came out 2018. It was directed by Lee Chang-dong, comes in at number 40. Inception, directed by the one and only, the best, Christopher Nolan, came out in 2010. Christopher Nolan, a god, or as I see, as a god in filmmaking, or one of the gods in filmmaking. I'll say that. I don't want to make nobody mad, but Christopher Nolan, someone who writes his own films, who puts energy and puts love and passion into his craft. Definitely a great filmmaker. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, directed by the Coen brothers. Let's see. I believe this is nope. Never mind. I'm thinking of a different film. Coming in at 37, we have Blue Ruin. It came out in 2013, directed by Jeremy Snoller. I believe some of these films are also independent films as well. Number 36, The Star is Born. It starred Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. Came out in 2018, and it comes in, at number 36. Number 35, Wonder Woman. It came out in 2017, directed by Patty Jenkins. Still upset that Wonder Woman 2 had to get pushed back. Still upset about that. Was definitely excited about it. Found out it was getting pushed back. Then it's like, okay. And then, coming in at 2015, you have Walt Before Mickey. It was directed by Cole Lee. Comes in at number 34. This is a movie I really don't remember, in all honesty. If I'm gonna be honest with you, 2016 is Moonlight. Well, no, the movie's called Moonlight. It came out in 2016. It comes in at number 33, and it's directed by Barry Jenkins. Coming in at number 2, we have Buried. It came out in 2010, and it was directed by Rodrigo Cortez. Number 31 is Fast 5. Came out in 2011, directed by Justin Lin. I don't know about this being in this list, because I'm looking at the poster right now, and it is a very, very generic poster. I guess that's why it's at number 31. The poster is very, very generic. Black Swan came out in 2010, and it comes in at number 30, directed by Darren Aronofsky. I feel like I'm messing up that name. If I am, I'm definitely sorry. Coming in at 29, Star Wars: The Last Jedi 2017, directed by Rian Johnson. Coming in at 28, we have Somewhere. Came out in 2010, directed by Sofia Coppola. Coming in at 27, we have the movie 42. Came out in 2013, directed by Brian. Um, mm, mm, mm. Helgeland. I fucked that up. I know I did. I know I messed that up. But the movie starred Chadwick Boseman. He was definitely a perfect fit to play Jackie Robinson. Mm. Pain and Gain. It was directed by Michael Bay. Came out in 2013, and it comes in at number 26. It starred Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Anthony Mackie, and Mark Wahlberg. And then coming in at 25, we have Open Windows. Came out in 2014. It was directed by Nacho Vigalondo. It starred Elijah Wood and Sasha Grey. Coming in at 24 for the best movie poster is Thor Ragnarok. Came out in 2017. It was directed by Taika Waititi. Coming in at number 23, we have Crimson Peak. Came out in 2015. It was directed by Guillermo del Toro. 22, Christine came out in 2016, directed by Antonio Campos. Let's see. And coming in at 21, we have Nymphomaniac. Came out in 2014, and it was directed by Lars von Trier. Coming in at number 20, we have Front Runner. Starred Hugh Jackman. Came out in 2018. It was directed by Jason Reitman. Coming in at 19, we have 10 Cloverfield Lane. Came out in 2016. It was directed by Dan Trachtenberg. Coming in at 18, we have Carol. Came out in 2015. It was directed by Todd Haynes. Let's see. Coming in at number 17, we have Dr. Sleep. It came out this year in 2019, and it's directed by Mike Flanagan. Number 16, it is Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, starring Tom Cruise. Came out in 2015 and directed by Christopher McQuarrie. Number 15, we have Dom Hemingway. Came out in 2013. It was directed by Richard Shepard. Number 14, it is Baby Driver. Came out in 2017, directed by Edgar Wright, starring, Hansel Elgort. I fucked that up, I know. Kevin Spacey, Lily James, I think that's it. Yes, Lily James, John Bernthal. The page reloaded. So I just gotta I gotta go all the way back down. My phone ended up crashing, so now I have to go back and find this poster again. But it starred Ansel Elgort, Jamie Foxx, Kevin Spacey, all the good actors. But let me go ahead and try to find it again. Okay. Give it a second to load. But the next poster is the live action Lion King that came out this year. If I can get back to the poster. Give me 1 second. Oh, come on, work for me. Work for me. Okay, yes. The Lion King, which was directed by John Fairview, came out in 2019. It starred Childish Gambino, Beyonce, James Earl Jones, even voice acting talents from Chitwell Ejiofor, Eric Andre, and a whole bunch more. Seth Rogen, a whole talented cast. I didn't get a chance to see the movie, even though some reviews were, less to be desired. The movie came in at a 52% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it kind of leaves you with a preconceived notion of what the film is like. Number 12 is Child's Play. Came out in 2019, directed by Lars Klidberg. 11, you have The Central Park 5. Came out in 2012. It was directed by Ken Burns, Sarah Burns, and David McCone. Coming in at number 10, you have The Black Klansman. Came out in 2018, directed by Spike Lee. Coming in at number 9 is 2012, The Amazing Spider-Man, which starred Andrew Garfield, directed by Margaret Webb. That comes in at number 9 for the best movie poster. Now we're here at number 8, which is The Lobster. It came out in 2015. It was directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. Let's see what the next one is. The Last Exorcism Part 2 came out in 2013. It was directed by Ed Gasdonnelly. And number 6, we have Bridesmaid, which came out in 2011. It was directed by Paul Feig. Now we're going into the top 5 best movie posters, and we start off with number 5 with Us, which was directed by Jordan Peele. Came out in 2019. Number 4, we have The Rum Diary. Came out in 2011, directed by Bruce Robinson. Number 3, we come in with Zero Dark 30, and my phone crashed again while trying to look at this. Oh man, I tell you. Oh, Sprint, get your stuff together. Come on, Sprint, get your stuff together. Get another sip. Actually, let me get a sip of my tea. I brought some tea with me. It's some Lipton iced tea. Not sponsored, by the way, but I brought some tea with me just so I'm not drinking water. But always definitely drink water. Stay hydrated. All right. Oh boy. Okay, let me go back down and find this movie poster because my phone decided to restart on me. It decided to reload the webpage. Where was I at? Bridesmaids? I know I was at Zero Dark 30. Yeah, Zero Dark 30 came out in 2012. It was directed by Catherine Bigelow. Number 2, Devil, came out in 2010. It was directed by John Eric Dowdle. Ooh, I know I messed that up. And coming in at number 1 for the best movie posters of the 2010s, The Idols of March, which was directed by George Clooney and came out in 2011. The movie not only starred George Clooney, but it also starred Ryan Gosling as well. And that is the list for the best movie posters of the 2010s. Most of my stories right now are coming from Screen Crush. I know this live stream, it may seem a little sloppy right now, but definitely just know that we are going to get better. I'm going to wait till we get a little past 10:30. It is 10:14 Central Standard Time right now. I'm going to wait till we get to the 10:30 mark and go ahead and wrap this up. You know, like I said, this wasn't going to be a long live stream, but I want to thank whoever decided to pop up and to watch this live stream. I want to thank you guys for coming in to watch the podcast. Definitely means a lot for me. If there is anybody watching right now, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a bunch when you do. Definitely do that. You know, let me just hear myself. Let me just hear myself one more time. It helps me out a bunch when you do. Definitely do that. You know, let me just hear myself. Let me just hear myself one more time. It helps me out a bunch when you do. Definitely do that. You know, let me just hear myself. Let me just hear myself one more time. It helps me out a bunch. Oh man, it's definitely fun to definitely hear yourself. But yes, definitely. We're coming up on 10. Well, it's 10:14 right now. Well, now it is 10:15 Central Standard Time. But I guess with this time left that I have, you know, like I said, I wasn't gonna stay on long, but let me go ahead and let you know. Every other Sunday, there will be a Movie News Nation podcast. And with me saying that, I will be changing this channel's name. It will no longer be called Movie News Nation. Like I said before in a previous video that I put up, you know, I'm not gonna have the time to go to movies to be able to watch movies and review them and turn this into a review channel. You know, now this could be a movie channel, but like I'm not gonna have the time to do research, you know, on different stories that come out about movies. Whereas with the podcast, I know I can kind of do some things on the fly and kind of give you and kind of look up certain stories and kind of, you know, report them out on this podcast. But at the same time, I'm not gonna have the time to really, devote so much time to research a news story on a movie or research a news story on an actor, to kind of to where I can come in and report it in a video. But with the live podcast, that kind of helps me out a little bit because I can read my research, get an idea of what I need to say, put it in my little notes, and just kind of say it how I would as I am right now. But yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. This channel will no longer be called Movie News Nation. I don't have a replacement name yet for the channel. Definitely don't. But it will not be called Movie News Nation no more. Every other Sunday, expect a podcast. And maybe Monday I could do something podcast wise. I may do like a recap podcast, kind of go over what I talked about on Sunday on the previous podcast. But yes, definitely every other Sunday you can expect the podcast. Um, Definitely keep an eye out because I will be doing some announcements on certain things as well as me joining up as well as me linking up with another good friend of mine to start another podcast channel. Maybe this channel will become the group podcast channel, or maybe we'll create something else separately to where I could do a separate podcast for you guys. But definitely stay tuned for more updates. But like I said, definitely for the people who did join, thank you. If there were people who weren't able to join, it's okay. This will get turned into a regular video afterwards, so you can end up watching you can end up watching the beginning of what's to come. Like I said, it was sloppy at first, but that's okay. It's the first podcast. It's not always going to be perfect. You know what I mean? It's the first podcast. We got many more to come, definitely. Um, I have almost 10 minutes left. It is 10:18 Central Standard Time, and I'm calling out the time zones just to give you an idea of what time it is to give you an idea of what the time is where I'm at right now. Um, but since I have 10 more minutes, I could definitely kill some time by recommending some music. That might be another thing that I may do at the end of my podcast is recommend music for you guys. I'm very into music. And I guess there's one song that I definitely can mention that I can recommend to you. It is a song that actually was released today. And the name of the song is Drink About It from the band Issues. This song is their second single off of their upcoming album, Little Beautiful Oblivion, which will be available for streaming on streaming services and will be available to buy October 4th. So definitely go listen to the song Drink About It. Go listen to their other single, Tapping Out. Both songs off the new album coming October 4th. Um, is it October 4th? Let me double check to make sure I'm not sending no information. We don't want to be fake news. We never fake news. Like I said, it's real news for real movies, even though that slogan will be no more soon, but it is okay. And yes, I was correct. October 4th is when you can expect the new issues album, Beautiful Oblivion. Beautiful Oblivion. Definitely, definitely, definitely. But it's 10:19 right now. I'm gonna wait till the 10-minute hits and kind of go over more things about the future of this channel, things that I didn't explain in the last video. 10:20 right now. Let me get a sip. Oh hell, knocked over my tea. It's okay. Let me get a sip of this tea real quick. It's good stuff. But when it comes to the future of this channel, like I said, it will no longer be called MovieNewsNation because I want to do something that can really guide this channel in the right direction and not just focus it on movies, kind of focus it more on entertainment. And with that being said, this movie, it already shows I'm kind of loopy. This channel will be dealing more with entertainment, whether it's music, whether it's games, whether it's movies. We're not gonna stay entrapped in this one bubble. We're definitely gonna branch out more and definitely try to get this channel in a direction to where it can be successful and can start helping me out and can start helping you out. But with that also being said, like I said, this stream was supposed to be for yesterday. Didn't happen. Hold on. Okay, didn't happen. Due to different reasons. Stream was supposed to happen yesterday. Didn't happen, so I'm doing it today. But hopefully every other Sunday. I know it sounded like I was promising it at first, but I'm not gonna promise. I'm gonna say no promises right now, but hopefully every other Sunday we can have a live podcast. And definitely keep an eye out because I will be joining up with a friend to do a podcast. And you may actually see him on somebody's podcast whenever I decide to do webcams and stuff like that. But this is the first podcast that did not involve a webcam. I'm actually using a encoder right now. That's why my logo's up right now. But definitely, definitely keep a lookout. I may involve him on some live streams right now. I may involve him on some live streams in the future. And, we are planning on starting our own podcasting channel. But with that channel, it's more broader topics. We're not just staying in the entertainment zone. We're talking about things that are going on, things that are going on in the world, things that are going on that are affecting people. And we'll try to keep it from getting too political, but that's definitely something that you could definitely look forward to. Hopefully this channel can grow. And like I said, to the people who were able to make it out to this little live stream, I want to thank you all again for joining this live stream. To the people who weren't able to join the live stream, that's okay. This live stream becomes a video afterwards. We're gonna wait until it hits 10:30. That'll make it a full hour. That will make it a full hour. So it's 10:23 right now. Okay, yeah, it's 10:23. I'm looking at another clock and like my eyes are messing with me and turning that 3 into a 9. I think that shows how tired I am. It shows how tired I am. It definitely shows how tired I am. But you know what though? It is okay. It is okay. So, thanks to everyone who came out. I know I'm saying it again. I'm trying to kill time because I wanna have this stream reach an hour mark. I want the stream to reach an hour mark. Let this stream reach an hour mark. Oh man, I'm pretty sure some people think I'm crazy right now, but hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's definitely okay. But definitely let me know what you guys thought about some of these topics. I know I kind of rambled on. I do have that problem, a little bit of rambling on. But let me know what you guys think about some of these topics that I brought up. With the Lady and the Tramp live action remake, with Universal and Blumhouse pulling the plug on the Hunt film, Disney Plus, and starting up their own, Disney starting up its own streaming services and its own streaming bundle to compete with Netflix. Disney. Disney is growing financially, and definite big props to Disney. But there are some things that they're doing that that just screams ultimate cash grab. Does this streaming service, this streaming bundle, does it scream ultimate cash grab? A little bit, a little bit. I mean, it's gonna charge you almost $13 to use it. $13 a month, and I guess that's better than Netflix. I actually don't remember what Netflix charges because I don't use it no more. But but let me know what you guys think of Disney and their streaming services with ESPN Plus. Because remember, Disney does own ESPN. They own at least 60% of it, I believe. And with Hulu, with Disney owning 80% of that, I believe. I may be mixing up my numbers, but yes, they do. But yes, they do own a good amount of Hulu and ESPN. So we will be seeing a bundled service with that, to where Disney can stream Hulu to you. So who knows? Who knows? I mean, this is definitely a lucrative standpoint for Disney. Big props to Disney, because Disney is only growing stronger financially. It's gonna get to a point where they buy out everything. 5 more minutes before I reach the hour mark. It's 10:25 right now, Central Standard Time. Let me catch a swig. Man, that tea's good. It's actually making me sleepy a little bit. But yeah, I am sleepy though. But 5 more minutes. So yes, hopefully Hold on. Head was itchy. I'm sorry. But yes, hopefully next Sunday. Wait, next Sunday? No. The Sunday after next. A new podcast. New different stories. New different discussions. And hopefully you guys can be a part of that. I would like to make you guys a part of that. I would like to make all you guys a part of that. Definitely. Get engaged, and never miss when I upload a podcast. Subscribe, hit that bell notification. It will help me out a lot if you do that, and it may get to a point to where this would just be a straight up podcast based show, to where all I do is nothing but podcasts. I won't do regular videos no more. If that's the case, then hopefully I can come up with a way to where you guys can help out this channel financially, to where I can keep this going. I want to keep things like this going, So, with that being said, 3 more minutes left. I'm just gonna go ahead and just wait out the 3 more minutes. But I definitely want to thank everyone who was able to stop by. I want to thank everyone who was able to stop by, who was able to watch this podcast. Let me see. Hold on. I'm kind of going in and out right now because I'm kind of going through my phone trying to do something. But got 3 more minutes left. 3 more minutes left. I don't want to leave you guys in awkward silence for the last 3 minutes, but it's okay. I know this is kind of going all over the place. this whole podcast is going all over the place, but like I said, that's okay. It's the first podcast. 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes, and we're gonna go ahead and hop off. I'm gonna wait till we reach the 10:29 mark before I go and end this podcast. But yeah, I definitely want to thank everyone who came out. It definitely means a lot. If you guys weren't able to come out, like I said, this podcast turns into a video, and I'm trying to make it to like this 59-minute mark. Let me make it to the 59-minute mark, and I will stop the stream. I'm going to my encoder real quick. But yeah. Even though my encoder is saying 57 minutes. Come on. I want to reach 59. 1 second. But I definitely want to thank everyone for coming in, watching this live stream. So I'm actually just go ahead and end it. But remember, guys, not this Sunday coming up, not the 18th, but the Sunday after that, a new podcast, new episode 2. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it. Stay ready so you don't get ready. Big quote from Boss Lady. Let's go ahead. Let's end it. I want to thank you guys for coming in and enjoying the live stream. Thank you all, and I will see you guys on. Let me actually look on the calendar real quick. Hold up. Let me look on the calendar. Because I will see you guys. That's not the calendar. The 25th. Okay. So, yes. I will see you guys back here on the 25th for a new podcast episode. So, like I said, stay ready. Don't get ready. And I will see you guys on the 25th. Have a good night, everybody.